Diana, Princess of Wales. She was a member of the British royal family. She was the first wife of King Charles III, then Prince of Wales, and mother of Prince William and Prince Harry. Her beauty, fashion sense, liveliness, and compassion garnered popularity with the public as a relief from the aloofness, stodginess, and dowdiness of the royal family, and her compassion and activism made her an international icon. Hi, I'm Tamworth Grice. Welcome to my YouTube channel, The Tamworth Grice Files, a place where you'll find cases that are spooky, macabre, fascinating, supernatural, and just plain weird. And in each instance, I have a personal connection to the story, so be sure to stick around to hear about that. Born into British nobility, Diana and her family lived close to the royals on their estate in Sandringham. When she finished school, her mother bought her an apartment in London where she lived with 3 roommates. She loved children and worked as a nursery teacher's assistant. Because they had been neighbors, her family had known the royal family for decades, but Diana didn't get to know Prince Charles until 1977, when she was 16 and he was 29. His family approved of the match and they became engaged. She left her job and moved into Buckingham Palace. She told her biographer that during this period, without the company of her roommates and other friends, and seldom visited by her fiancé, she was incredibly lonely. She had only met with Charles 13 times before the wedding. Their wedding was an international event, and the public took to her almost immediately. She bore 2 sons, heirs to the throne, Prince William and Prince Harry. But during the lonely engagement period, she succumbed to the eating disorder of bulimia. This began, she later said, when Charles placed his hand on her waist and accused her of being, quote, chubby, unquote. She frequently made herself sick, sometimes within even 2 minutes of eating. She said her bulimia helped her relieve the stress and emotional pressure of becoming Princess of Wales and having to live up to stringent expectations. In addition, her enormous popularity with the public made Charles jealous, and he began to turn a cold shoulder to her. Meanwhile, Charles was apparently still carrying on an affair with his old flame, the now married Camilla Parker Bowles, presently Queen Consort Camilla. Soon before the wedding, Diana discovered a bracelet he'd had made for Camilla, and on their honeymoon, not only did he wear the cufflinks that Camilla had given him, but he telephoned Camilla at least once from the honeymoon yacht. Diana's unhappiness grew when a 1989 taped phone call between Charles and Camilla was leaked to the press, in which he spoke to Camilla in a flirtatious and intimate manner. I won't give the sordid details of that phone call here, but you can find them by Googling Tampon Gate. But the royal family knew that this tall, blonde, young, fashionable, and photogenic new member was an asset to their public image. Even as her marriage fell apart, Diana's popularity increased. Most of the royal family were known as being aloof, but Diana visited hospitals, interacted compassionately with patients, and hugged children and AIDS patients. Diana and Charles finally separated in 1992. They divorced in 1996. After the divorce, Diana became involved with the Egyptian-born and Muslim film producer Dodi Fayed, son of the fabulously wealthy owner of a huge London department store and the Ritz Hotel in Paris. In Paris on August 31st, 1997, after leaving the Ritz and being chased by paparazzi, Diana's chauffeur-driven car crashed in the Alma Tunnel. Only her bodyguard survived. Conspiracy theories surround the accident, with most claiming the royal family didn't want Diana to marry a Muslim. Some say Diana's driver was drunk. Some say healthcare personnel who treated Diana on the scene allowed her to die, and some, including Dodi's father, even claim the royal family and or MI6, the British version of the CIA, were behind Diana's death. What is known is that Diana seems to have predicted her own death. 10 months before the crash, she gave a handwritten letter to her former butler, Paul Burrell. In it, Princess Diana claimed that Prince Charles was planning an accident in my car, brake failure, and serious head injury to make the path clear for him to marry. Burrell released the letter to the public in 2003, fueling even more conspiracy theories. Now for the hauntings. First, the home of Paul Burrell. That same butler, Paul Burrell, claims Princess Diana's ghost is haunting his home. As evidence, he cites strange noises and shadowy figures. In addition, Diana's voice saying, "I'm here, sorry," was supposedly recorded during an investigation. Another site of the hauntings is Sandringham Estate. Sandringham is one of the royal family's homes and the place where they typically spend Christmas. A story from the 2000s claims royal staff there were frightened by strange phenomena in the room where Queen Elizabeth's father, King George, died in 1952. These phenomena included lights flickering and turning on and off, footsteps with no source, and doors opening on their own. Queen Elizabeth herself is said to have participated in a sort of exorcism at Sandringham. The clergyman who performed the exorcism said the ghostly activity might be linked to someone who died a violent and untimely death, fueling speculation that this could be the ghost of Diana. A haunting in Glasgow, Scotland. Princess Diana made numerous trips to Glasgow, Scotland's largest city, during her lifetime. In addition, her mother spent a lot of time in Scotland, passing away there in 2004. And, of course, the royal family had a summer home in Scotland at Balmoral Castle. In 2012, a group of Chinese tourists filmed a stained glass window at Govan Old Parish Church in Glasgow that appears to show a ghostly-looking image resembling Princess Diana's ghost. Hauntings in the media. During the funeral broadcast for Queen Elizabeth, online commentators claimed to hear a strange voice, that of Diana's ghost, supposedly, which spoke on air during the live coverage. The voice calmly stated, "Death is irreversible." A hidden note. One royal confidant says that Diana spoke from the grave in a recently discovered note. In 2005, a long-lost secret note from Princess Diana was found at Kensington Palace. A stunned maid allegedly fainted when she discovered the handwritten document. Hidden in the jammed drawer of a writing desk, the note was dated just 5 weeks before her death. It contains messages to William and Harry, her sons, to their future wives, to Queen Elizabeth, alive at the time the note was written, to Prince Charles, and even to her rival Camilla. A fan summed up the note this way: "She was silenced too soon. Maybe now they can finally listen." Finally, hauntings at Kensington Palace. Now, Princess Diana lived at Kensington Palace from 1981 until her death in 1997. She and Charles lived there together, and when they separated, she remained with her sons. After the divorce, she kept her home there and was living there at the time of her death. For many years, rumors have circulated about Diana's ghost appearing. According to one version, her reflection is often seen in the windows, smiling. And now here's my part of the story. Before COVID, I used to spend summers in England. During one visit, I went to Kensington Palace, Diana's former London home. On display was a collection of Diana's many fashionable outfits, her coats, her everyday dresses, her suits, her gowns, and so on. As I walked among the clothes exhibited on mannequins, I noticed the tiny waistlines of many of the items. Before I go on, I need to say that when I was in my teens, I may have had some kind of eating disorder. It wasn't bulimia. I hate the feeling of vomiting, but at 18 years old, I was 5 feet 5 inches tall and weighed just 95 pounds, fully clothed. And yet, I thought I was fat, so much so that I was reluctant to go to the local pool in a swimsuit. This condition eventually passed, and I gained enough pounds so that I am no longer unhealthily thin. Anyway, as I wandered admiringly among Princess Diana's fashions, I started to feel ill. A wave of nausea rushed over me, and I knew I was going to throw up. I rushed to find a restroom and fortunately found one just in time to toss my lunch in the toilet. Of course, it may have been food poisoning, but to this day, I believe that in some way, Princess Diana's ghost, who is known to haunt Kensington Palace, recognized me as a kindred spirit, as someone who, like her, had once had an eating disorder. I know that it's arrogant of me to think that such a lofty figure and celebrity as Diana, Princess of Wales, would single me out and communicate with me in this way, but I do believe she was there somehow, reminding me of what once was and congratulating me for overcoming the problem just as she had. So, what do you think? Was Princess Diana's death purely an accident, or was it the result of a conspiracy? If so, why? And who were the conspirators? Does her ghost haunt Paul Burrell or Sandringham Estate or Govan Old Parish Church in Glasgow or Kensington Palace? And what about that strange voice recorded during Queen Elizabeth's funeral or the long-lost secret note recovered many years after she wrote it? Why is Diana's spirit restless? Do you believe in ghosts? Have you had any experience with ghosts? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you found this story compelling, please subscribe, like, sign up for notifications, and spread the word about this channel. Also, let me know in the comments if there are other cases you want me to explore. Your attention and support mean the world to me. I love and appreciate you all for watching, and I hope you'll return to view the next video in the Tamworth Grice Files. This is Tamworth Grice signing off. Until the next time, stay wonderful, stay weird, and have beautiful dreams.